Hey guys, so I am currently on my way to trade in my 2023 Ford Maverick EcoBoost with all the bells and whistles on it, the co-pilot and the I don't know, the 360 co-pilot luxury package, all that good stuff. And I figured, before I trade it in, while it's fresh in my mind, I can maybe help somebody not make the same mistakes that I did in jumping in to this particular truck. The hype behind it kind of got me. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm an emotional person. It seemed like a really cool truck. I traded in my Ford F-150. I was tired of driving such a big road castle, figuring out places to park, and so very big, very cumbersome. I wanted something small, light, and still has that truck to it, right? So the Maverick I thought was perfect. I never thought any of the mid-range trucks, the Canyons, the Colorados, the Rangers, or the Tacomas were really worth it. If for nothing else, their fuel economy was basically the same or worse than like an F-150. I had the 5.0 Coyote engine, and I would regularly get 21, sometimes 22 miles per gallon on average. So that's like a Tacoma, right? So that's why I never really went that route. And I immediately fell in love with the Maverick. So I got the Maverick about 3 weeks ago, brand new. I took advantage of a recent grad coupon, so that was like $700. If you negotiate, guys, I got mine for $33,200 out the door. Okay, so they're out there. There's dealerships out there. Call, negotiate. Don't let them dick you around. But yeah, this was at or even just above MSRP. I think with basically the window sticker. And then, I had the all-weather mats, all the stuff they throw in there to make it extra money. I just really wanted the truck. Once I test drove the truck, I thought, man, this thing is fun, easy to drive, easy to park. I just fell in love with it. I tried the hybrid and I tried the EcoBoost. The hybrid is very peppy. You get up and go. It's very fun. But, Austin city highway driving, you're 80 miles an hour and you need more. She didn't have it, right? So I'm like, okay, well, the EcoBoost is still really good on gas, and right now I'm doing 80, and if I need more speed, she'll give it to me, right? So I got it. So I really like the EcoBoost. I don't know why everyone's jumping up and down about the hybrid. It's to me, you're gonna the longevity wise, I don't know, right? The battery and that particular engine, I don't know how expensive it is, or I know a lot of mechanics, you got to be a certified technician nowadays to work on those things. So the EcoBoost made more sense, and I got it. And slowly but surely over the past 3 weeks, I've noticed a lot of things that made me go, huh, right? The first one was, every time I get a new vehicle, and I've had many, I'll wash it and I'll clay bar it, and then I'll wax it. Well, after I was done doing all that, I noticed that the driver's side back door had like a dent, and that's from me putting on the wax and taking it off, and it was a little tougher to take it off, so I had to kind of press a little harder. But it wasn't like a dent, it's just like a wave in the metal. So that OCD, it's gonna get banged up, guys. It's a car, right? But still, my OCD is like, damn it, I just paid a lot of money for this damn thing, and it's already not a big deal. You can barely notice it, but I notice it, right? And then just yesterday, I was putting a laptop. I had my laptop, and I put it in the driver's side, the little wheel well over here, or your foot well for the passenger side. And the corner of the laptop just just touched the plastic, and it left a gouge. I'm like, man, that is some cheap ass plastic. And I really started noticing the plastic is really cheap. Like, you look at it the wrong way, it's gonna get scratched. I'm noticing scratch. I don't even have passengers. How did it get all those scratches? Yeah, I can only imagine 6 months from now or a year from now, it's gonna look terrible, right? So I started doing some research, and apparently I'm not the only one that's noticed this. A lot of people are like, dude, I've had mine for a year, and it looks like I've lived in it, you know, the whole time, or it looks like a 20-year-old interior. So that got me really worried. And then I was thinking, okay, well, maybe durability and reliability a little bit more important to me, right? Don't get me wrong, it's still a nice truck. Drives great, it's fun to drive, easy to park, easy to wash and wax, all that good stuff, right? But it's the little things. Oh, another, before I forget, like right now I'm on a long road trip to go get this new truck, and my right foot, the ball of my foot is kind of numb, the way it sits. Maybe it's just my height, kind of a bigger guy. I'm 5'8", about 220 pounds, and the ball of my foot is numb. Now, I don't use cruise control. I'm not a cruise control guy, so I'm pretty sure that would fix the problem if I just use cruise control, but I don't. So if you're like me and you like putting your foot on, having that tactile feel and control, you might have that. The way the pedal sits up so like this, you know, and it's so little, you might get that. So anyways, I was looking at the GMCs, the Colorados. I finally like, okay, fine, I'll get a mid-size pickup. Nissan wasn't even on my radar, but I was driving, I saw one that looked like a Tacoma, and I was pointing it, you know, to my wife. I'm like, look, it's a really nice Tacoma. And she's like, that's not a Tacoma. Look, it's a Nissan. I'm like, that's not a Nissan. So I started doing a ton of research on the Nissan, the 22 body change, and the engine, the history of this particular truck. It really interested me. I feel like I'm going to get something bulletproof. So right now I'm on my way to trade it. It's pretty much an even trade. I think I'm going to lose $1,000. It sucks. I mean, you know, any money lost is money lost, right? You don't want to lose any money. But I think in this particular case, I'm going to get a much better quality truck. I don't know about reliability on these because they haven't been out long enough, but I know the Nissan, they don't change them often. You know, the body style was the same for what, 17 or 18 years, and even with the new body style change, they're basically the same platform, same engine, same everything, so you know what to expect. They're bulletproof. If you take a look around, you'll notice a whole lot of really old Nissans on the road, and that to me is a really good indicator of quality and reliability, right? So you know, you don't know. Do you guys see any PT Cruisers around lately? I remember when the PT Cruiser was all the rage, and they're not. I can't find one, right? So I see slug bugs. I've seen more slug bugs than I have seen PT Cruisers in years, right? So that to me is a good indicator. I see a lot of old Tacomas, a lot of old Nissans, a few old F-150 pickups, a couple old Chevys, but even a couple of Isuzus. You guys remember those little trucks? But yeah, I wanted a little truck. I think the Maverick's a little too small for me. I'm gonna go a little bit bigger. I'll just eat up, you know, the fuel. As far as fuel goes, you know, I'd rather pay a little bit more at the pump, but have the truck longer. I plan on keeping this Frontier forever, and I wanted to keep the Maverick, but I don't know if the Maverick can make it 200,000 miles. I don't know. I know the Frontier can. So you know, gas is cheap in comparison to a new engine, right, or a new transmission. So you know, the EcoBoost is pretty proven. I think it should last. As far as the powertrain should be okay, but I'm worried about the body. I'm worried about the interior. I mean, yes, I knew they were made in Mexico. I knew it's a budget truck. I knew that, but man, they really cheaped out in areas where they shouldn't. I don't know. I like the truck. It's well designed. It's fun. It's a really good. But for the same price, I'm gonna get a much better truck, right? So if I hadn't bought this one and just went straight to the Frontier, I didn't know they did a new body style. I think the old ones are kind of ugly, but had I known that, I actually would have come out ahead and not lost any money and been pretty happy with it. But I've made this video. I'm hoping I can help somebody out that's thinking of getting a Maverick. It is a fun fun little truck, very unique. Everyone, is asking me about it. But at the end of the day, you get inside and you understand very quickly that you are in a budget vehicle. And this one has the luxury package and the co-pilot and all that. But, I mean, you are very much in a budget vehicle. And the Frontier that I'm going to go get, it's an SV trim, which is like the higher than the base. But then it has the luxury package, premium package with the leather seats and the GPS and all the sensors. It has a towing package. It has a bunch of packages, and it only has 7,000 miles. So yes, I got this one new for $33,000. I would have bought that one with 7,000 miles for $32,999, so $33,000. So 7,000 miles difference really, and I would have got a much better quality truck. One with a very, very proven track record, bulletproof track record. Yes, they've, every truck has had its bad years. Tacoma, same thing with Tacomas. But overall, people understand that, a V6 naturally aspirated engine, much simpler, less technology, easier to work on, probably going to last longer, right? I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. I am a very good researcher of things, and I did a lot of research on this particular truck. Asked my wife, 2 days reading, comparing, looking at prices, trim models. The reason I'm doing this long road trip is because I found a truck at a very good price, and honestly, I couldn't find that price with this same truck anywhere else. So I'm lucky enough that it was within driving distance, even though it's still a solid 8-hour drive. I'm kind of excited about it. I was always worried about these cloth seats. I've had cloth seats forever, and I'm kind of excited to have some leather seats where I don't have to worry about spilling stuff and getting them stained. So that's going to be fun, right? Anyways, yeah, the Maverick. If you're thinking of getting it, know what you're getting. It is a budget truck. They did cut corners. The plastic, you look at it the wrong way, it's gonna gouge. It's not just scratch, it gouges, guys. You put your finger in there, you can feel it. It is gouged. For me, at least, the way the ergonomics is, the seat's not very comfortable for long drives, but it's actually very comfortable for short drives. My foot is numb. I could use cruise control, so I don't know. I wouldn't knock it. If you're like me, it's just one of those little things. I could live with it. The interior was a little bit better quality. I might actually just keep it, but it's not. And I already see, from the 3 weeks that I have it, I'm like, oh man, this thing's gonna look like a wreck in 6 months. So I have a feeling if they don't fix that, this Maverick's gonna end up going the way of the PT Cruiser and the Plymouth Prowler. So I'm trading it in at a loss. Not much, but it's still a loss. I'm getting it while the getting's good, right? While there's a high market for it, people want it, I can use that when I go to the dealership. I'm like, hey, super popular truck, it's awesome, my truck's amazing, it's better than yours, give me a deal. That's what I'm dealing with right now. And I wasn't even going to make this video, but I figured somebody might get something out of it, and I might save somebody a little bit of money. If you look at the used Toyota Tacoma market, that's a wash. I'm not paying $24,000 for a truck with 200,000 miles, guys. Not doing it. I don't care how good it is. I'm not doing it. So keep it. You obviously want it. But don't get me wrong. If I had one and somebody gave me 24 grand, I would sell it too. So I can't even knock you on that. Maverick, I will miss you. It's been fun, but I'm looking forward to getting back in a real truck and feeling like I'm driving a real truck again. Thanks, guys. Hey, guys. So I am driving my new, or not new, I mean, it has 7,000 miles on it, so I guess it's used. But the Nissan Frontier SV with basically all the packages you can get, including, check that out, the leather seats. I haven't had leather seats in like 20 years, dude. Last time I had leather seats was like an old Cadillac that I bought for like 2,500 bucks. And the leather was actually in really good condition. But man, this thing is hooked up. I paid $32,999, so about $500 less than a new Maverick XLT with pretty much all the packages besides like the leather seats. That's on the Lariat, and I don't even think they use real leather. Of course, I don't know if this is real leather or not. It's just the leather package, right? I think it's like vinyl leather nowadays. I think it's more it lasts longer, or it's strong. I don't know. I'm not an interior guy, but it doesn't. I have to smell it. I'll look weird putting my nose to it and smelling it, but I think I'm going to end up doing that. Anyways, so this particular truck, I'll show. Well, I guess I don't know if I can spin it around. Let me spin this around. You see so over 483 miles, I've gotten about 27.2 miles per gallon. Now that is mostly highway. There is, I want to say maybe 20 miles of that the stop and go in-city traffic in Austin. So at least for highway miles, I mean, that's not bad. Doing what, 70, 75? With the Maverick on the way up there, I was going about 80, 85, and I was getting about 27 to 28. So maybe if I were to go 70, 75 in the Maverick, I would have done a little bit better. I have been able to squeeze about 33 out of it, but that's going like 60 miles an hour. Real gentle driving. So the interior on this particular Frontier is so much nicer. I mean, besides the seats, which are more comfortable, I'll say that right now. My feet are fine, my legs, everything, it's way more comfortable. It feels like a truck. It drives like a truck. Kind of hard to explain. You just have to try both of them, really. It's not as fun to drive as the Maverick. I'll tell you that much right now. That Maverick, you know, the little turbo boost in there, it's fun. It's fun to drive, fun to maneuver, fun to park. But this is a real truck. I feel safer in it. I feel more at home as far as, you know, because I come from an F-150. And this one had the premium audio, has a little subwoofer in the back. It's pretty cool. I like it. It has a moonroof or sunroof. This thing was all hooked up, and I actually paid less, about $500 less than the Maverick. Now, granted, this one did have 7,000 miles on it. I traded my Maverick in at just under 4,000 miles. So to me, that's more or less a wash. It's just a better made vehicle, the Nissan, and it has that naturally aspirated V6. It's a bulletproof, well-known, tried and true engine. I mean, don't kid yourselves. Drive around and look for old Nissan trucks, and you're gonna see them. You're gonna see the old trucks, right? So, you know, do the same thing. Look for old Ford and Chevys, and you'll find a few. That's when you know that's a good vehicle. You see those old beat up, like they have a lawnmower in the back. That thing's barely hanging on by a thread with duct tape, but buddy, that's still running. You know, that's when you know you got a good, solid. I think that's why the Tacomas, they've proven themselves over time. They're just bulletproof vehicles, right? So a lot less technology, even though this one is pretty hooked up. You got a nicer screen, got a nicer console, the dash. It's just a much better made vehicle, and I paid less for it. If you look in the used market, the good thing is, you know, we Americans, we have this, including myself, right? I am to blame as well. We have this Ford or Chevy. We're very loyal to these companies. I'll never buy a Dodge again. I'll tell you that much right now. All right, I started my truck life on a Dodge 1500, and I'll never do that again. But you know, we have these American. We buy America. I mean, most of the parts in these trucks are imported anyways, right? But the real silent winners here are the Tacomas, the Titans, the Tundras. I mean, Tundra They make a Tundra in Texas, right? Find me an F-150 that's made in Texas. I don't think they make them in Texas. I'm pretty sure they don't make them in Texas. But made for Texans by Texans, right here in the heartland of Texas. I think I got a really good deal on this Nissan. I feel good about it. I feel like I'm going to be driving it well into 200,000 to 300,000 miles. I know my father-in-law drives a Toyota Solaris. He buys them used, $8,000-9,000. He drives them until about 500,000 to 600,000 miles. That is absolutely true. He's done that to about 2 or 3, and then he gives them to his son or passes them off for people that need, a vehicle. He'll help them out. It's like, here's a free vehicle. It has a lot of miles on it, but it's free, so don't complain. And they'll still drive it. The damn thing, it just keeps going. So I hope that this Nissan will do the same for me. I'm looking to cut back on buying a new vehicle every few years. So I'm hoping that 3, 4, 5, 6 years down the line, I'm still driving this bad boy. I'm going to try and take good care of it, do all the services and the oil changes. So that I just kind of wanted to give you guys a rundown of my thoughts while they're fresh in my mind over the Maverick. I would shop if you're looking for a smaller truck. I would shop around. You can get some pretty good deals, used but not used, and so you don't have to pay the over MSRP. Let the dealerships keep them, man. They want them. They obviously want them. Charging $5,000 over MSRP. What's crazy is people actually paying for them. Having owned one, having gotten caught up in the hype, buying it, realizing that I might have gotten caught up in the hype. I honestly don't think, if they don't do anything to fix the interior, the cheap, and I mean cheap plastic that they used, these things are going to look like a mess within a few years, if not months. I'm curious to see, down the line, if we can find an old used Maverick, in 2035, 2040, if someone's driving around in a 2021 Ford Maverick, I'm going to be very impressed, and I will eat my words. But right now, having owned it, I just don't feel that it's going to make it that long, I think it will. Of course, what do I know, right? Take my opinion with a grain of salt. But if you were to ask me, I think it's going to go the way of the Plymouth Prowler. So that's just me. I'm happy to be out of it. I'm glad that it was still holding value well enough that I can trade out. I lost a little bit, my impatience, my getting caught up in the FOMO and the hype. I would have made out much better had I shopped around and found this truck when I was, looking for the Maverick. But I really, I like the look of the Maverick. I like what they're doing. It's a cool, fun little truck. Very practical, but they cheaped out just too much. So, and then you're paying over MSRP, or even at MSRP. You usually can negotiate down below that, but now you're either buying at MSRP or paying more. It's like, wait a second, the draw to this truck was that it was so cheap, right? Now that that's lost, what am I buying? A truck made in Mexico, made of really cheap plastic. Hopefully it'll last. It's lost its appeal. So I was lucky enough. I think I paid at MSRP with all the packages that it had, the co-pilot and all that, and that was cool. I like it. This particular Nissan has all that, so now I'm spoiled. I made sure it had the backup cross traffic alarms and the lane assist. I was used to having my 2020 Ford F-150 that didn't have any of that. It was just a big, comfortable truck. Most people just moved out of the way, so I missed that. By the way, on the Maverick, people do not move out of your way. They don't care. You're not a threat in any way, shape, or form. So you're just kind of a bug in the road, And I'm glad to be back in a truck. People tend to move out of the way for trucks. So that is a truck owner benefit a lot of people don't know about unless you own one. When you're driving, people just scoot. Thank you. But yeah, so hopefully I've helped somebody make a decision, or give you some food for thought. If you do still want the Maverick, end up going for the Maverick, at least now you know a little bit more about it, and you know what to expect, right? So it's not a shock to you like it was for me, getting my plastic scratched up by just looking at it the wrong way. So you know now, and you still want it. With that being said, dude, if you can get it at or below MSRP, it's a fun little truck. Know what you're getting. It's a fun little truck. It'll fit just about anywhere. I didn't like the fact that I felt like I was sitting lower. Even if I pulled up next to another Maverick, for some reason my Maverick felt like it was sitting even lower than theirs. That was weird. And if you look at them, they're sitting the same height. And I had my seat all the way up as far as it could go. But even then, I still felt like I was lower than other vehicles, which is weird. I'm used to being higher, looking down from my perch. So yeah, I'm very happy with this particular trade. I just about got this bad boy paid off, so I'll be happy when it's 100% paid off. In a couple months I plan on doing that. I did have to make the drive. It was an 8-hour drive. When you find a good deal and it's maybe within a day's drive, think about doing it. It might be worth it. You might save some money or get a really good vehicle or a good deal. And right now, with the market the way it is, it's tough to find a good deal. So I have the window sticker for this truck. This bad boy, brand new, was $41,900 and something dollars. It had all the bells and whistles, and I picked it up for $32,900, I think it was. So the first buyer drove it 7,000 miles, ate up all the depreciation, and now I get to enjoy it it'll still depreciate at a much lower rate, but I don't care. I plan, as long as it holds up, I plan on keeping this one for a long time. Maybe I'll pass it on for free to somebody else once it hits the 500,000 mile mark. And I'm hoping that this V6, with its history, it will. So there you go, my rambling on. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.